This is Naatak House. Welcome. How many people here who are here for the very first time in this place? Amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Naatak has been around 20 years. We are now America's biggest Indian theatre company. We've slowly grown into that, but we still are the best kept secret where we run into people who are here for the very first time. So we're very thankful for your support. In our 20th year here, I just wanted to say we've introduced this concept of stage readings, where we do plays like this in a performance area like this. This is Naatak House, where we build sets, where we rehearse, and now starting this year we've introduced this concept of stage readings. Very, very minimalist theatre, no sets, props, costumes, makeup, nothing. Just pure play enactment. For the most part, actors will read from scripts. There's a little bit of memorization in there, a little bit of movement, maybe a whole lot of movement, we'll see. And then hopefully you'll experience the feeling of intimate theatre up close and personal. The play we are doing for you today will be directed by Neha Goyal. I'll let her come up and introduce the play from here on.
Hello everyone, welcome to Naatak's third stage reading, Admission. This play is written by Tanvi, Chawla, Buch, who's very much here in the audience with us. This play was one of the 3 winners of the playwriting contest held by Naatak last year, and we decided to stage it. This play is about Sehgal family, and in Tanvi's own words, Admission is a story about choices parents make to protect their children. Can a strong conscience prevent consequences, or do consequences awaken the conscience? And without further delay, let me present to you Admission. Frontier.
Raina? Yeah, I'm still at work. I'll leave in maybe half an hour. Probably get some traffic. Yeah, don't wait for me. See you soon. Bye. Hello, Mrs. Katyal.
Oh, hello! Vikram, is it?
Yes, good memory. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Taking your regular walk after work?
Yes, I enjoy this time of day. It clears my head.
It's a beautiful day. Not too hot. Remind me, where do you live again?
Just a couple of blocks that way. What are you planting?
Oh, gardenias. I love the fragrance. How are your kids? You have 2 boys, right?
Yes. They're okay. My older one is in a bit of trouble.
Remember, they're just boys. I volunteer at the local high school. Wait, what's your son's name?
Oh, Neil. I don't think you...
Neil, how old is he?
16. Well, it was nice running into you. I should let you get back to your...
Stay for a minute and chat. I could use some break.
What do you teach at school?
I counsel teenagers. I've been doing that, let's see, 11 years now.
Yeah?
Yes, I talk to them. I help them understand the long-term impact of their choices.
How do you do that?
We focus on different issues. Bullying, drugs, peer pressure. There are so many. We try to help them visualize the consequences of their choices.
What does that do exactly?
It puts a little voice in their heads. Have you seen that movie, Sliding Doors?
The one with...
Gwyneth Paltrow.
She's the one who misses the train.
That's her. Do you remember it showed 2 scenarios? If she had missed the train, and if she had caught it?
Yes.
Well, we try to have the kids visualize what could happen if they made a choice to do something. Then we have them visualize the other option, to not to do. We guide them through the visualization.
So they can see 2 different consequences?
Yes. Have you heard of that study where they monitored this guy's brain and had him visualize running a race? His body showed an identical reaction, just imagining as it would if he was actually running the race.
So you think they'll choose the right thing because they visualize the bad thing?
It works better than you would think, but it's not foolproof. It's
So-
all about probabilities.
So what can we do as parents?
Well, we should be communicating with them all the time, checking in with them, stating our values and expectations. Often, they get our disapproval after the event. But also, we need to understand that this part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, which helps them reason and make good choices, hasn't finished developing and won't for another 10 years. While the limbic part deep inside, that makes them act on impulse, the primitive instinct is fully developed already.
You mean we are kind of fighting with their brain development, not with them?
Precisely. So what do you do, Vikram?
I'm in tech sales. Long hours, lots of travel. My wife is with the kids. She was in tech management before she gave it up. What did you do before volunteering at school?
I used to be an architect, but I retired early. I like being around kids.
You were an architect.
Yes, I designed this house. Been in it ever since. Long time now. 30 years.
Did you do all the design? It's really quite spectacular.
Thank you. Yes, I did.
The neighborhood has changed a lot since then, hasn't it?
Oh yes. I don't like the monstrosities I see over on the other streets. 2 or 3 stories, pink, stucco, porticos, fountains. Ugh.
You don't like big houses.
I have no objection to the big houses, but the space around the house is just as important as the house itself. If the house is maxed out on a pretty piece of land, it's overbearing, in your face. The same house with more land around it would look completely different. You are right.
The empty space around the house has to justify the house?
It does. The massing, the bulk of the house can't be larger than the open space around it. This just looks wrong.
And everyone on your street feels the same way as you do? I don't see any 2-story houses here.
This street is zoned single story. Thank goodness. Some newer neighbors tried to change that, but I fought it as silly concept. I like just the way it is. Most of my neighbors agree with me, so it's not been hard so far.
It's like walking into the past. This part of the neighborhood is almost unchanged. I can still hear the same strange echo.
I'm impressed. You have noticed. It's to do with sound bouncing off the road height poles. On this street, the ratio of the house height to the width of the street is low. That affects the acoustics.
Oh, excuse me. I need to take this. Sorry.
Go ahead. You take care. I'll look out for Neil at the school.
Hello? Hi, Rajesh. How are you?
Central's dining room.
Ew! You know I don't like gobi.
I thought you didn't mind it roasted, Neha. This isn't that other way. Do you want some lemon juice on it?
I want some lemon juice, Mom.
You cannot have any lemon juice until those braces come off. And I don't want you playing with your phone. I don't like devices on table. Whom are you texting?
Mom!
What does STBY mean? Aditya?
Sucks to be you. I don't like gobi either.
You're such a baby.
Can't you be a little nicer to your brother?
Ew!
How's the project going?
Crazy. I'm still at work mentally.
Tell me about it. I dream about Neil's issue all the time.
Just a couple of months till your deadline.
I called you earlier today. Was your cell phone off?
I must have been in the conference room.
I texted you as well. You get text, right?
What was it about?
Neil's soccer game is this Friday in that Loma whatever field an hour away. Can you pick up Aditya from school?
Why is Daddy allowed to use his cell phone at dinner?
Because Daddy is not your equal. He's done growing up. Now you want to be picked up from school or you want to spend the whole night at school?
Really? Could we camp out there?
Sure, I can pick him up. So, what did you do today?
It's the backloading zone, huh? Remember?
Can we go camping this weekend?
Neil.
I had soccer practice.
Bhaiya has a game this weekend. We can go camping another time, okay?
Soccer doesn't last all day. What else do you do?
Just hang out, I guess.
You have your schedule from school, right? You can look up your calendar and see what they're doing. No reason why you can't keep up with the work you're missing.
Can you let him eat?
Why don't you help your brother with his homework? Tutor him if he needs it. Be more useful if you're going to be home anyway.
Let's all just eat, please. I think they should just let this thing drop. No point dragging it on. I mean, what a waste of everyone's time. The parent board met, the school board met, the 4 set of parents met. Huh. It's so much trouble to miss even a day of school in 10th grade. Neil, could you stop shaking that salt shaker? It's making a mess.
I could put it on my gobi. Maybe then it won't taste like gobi.
They have to follow protocol. Everyone's story is different. They have to investigate it. However long it takes, you should be glad he wasn't expelled.
I should be glad. You mean you don't care about this?
Of course I care. But this is pretty serious. Stealing exam papers the night before the exam. It's theft, attempting to cheat, trespassing on private property.
Come on. They were just trying to have some fun. They weren't doing drugs or messing with girls. It's hard not to ride along when your friends are doing such things. Don't you remember what peer pressure was like in high school?
Let's take this offline.
That's fine. But I am writing a letter. I want you to look at it. I'm going to get the other parents to sign it.
Just let them finish their investigation the proper way, Neha. Your letter won't change anything. It'll just get filed somewhere.
You don't know that. I just want to be heard. I want them to have a record of what I thought and said.
I just knew.
Go on, catch up with what happened at school. And keep your music off.
You're hard on him, Vikram. Didn't you ever do anything wrong as a teenager? Never got into any trouble as boys do?
Standing a Diet Coke in the fridge.
Have you finished your homework? Can I look at it?
I finished it already. I only had math.
Did you check your work? Remember, you can find your own mistakes or your teacher can find them for you for a lower grade.
I didn't make any.
Hello? This is she. I'm sorry. Who did you say you were? Yes. I remember you, Zafar. How are you? You were overseas, right? Really? Here? I'm well. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I know it's just coffee. Look, I have too much going on right now. I don't think I could find a moment even if I tried. Yes, I'm sure. It was good to hear from you. Bye.
Why don't you want to have coffee with your friend?
You're teaching him that he doesn't have to face consequences for the choices he makes. Let him deal with what happens. No one asked him to do it. I should talk to him.
What's there to talk about?
Have you asked him why he did it? They were caught parenting. It doesn't matter who the leader was. He's 16. He needs to make better choices.
I wish you'd be easier on him, Vikram. By the way, I just heard from Zafar.
Zafar? Do we know a Zafar?
Zafar?
Oh, what does he want?
Nothing. He just wants to meet up. Catch up. I'm not sure I want to.
I'm going to talk to you. You really need to change your ringtone. The Kavalis are irritating.
It takes a rare person to appreciate a Kavali who holds my debating and persuasive skills. Aditya, have you practiced your guitar for the concert?
I will now.
Senegal's living room.
Yeah? No, man. No. I don't think we should. Her parents are stiff. They'll kill her. Yeah, but it's already done. I'm not gonna say anything. There's no point. Dude, my mom already wrote a letter. Okay, fine. See you later.
Neil! Neil!
Oh, hi Dad.
I want to have a word with you.
Okay.
You're done with homework?
I'm taking a break.
You must be relieved this whole thing is finally over.
Yes.
What are you thinking? How do you feel about what happened?
It's all good, Dad.
Are you glad to be back at school?
Sure.
You have a lot of catching up to do?
I was checking the textbooks and I was missing an assignment and some homework, but I'll catch up.
That's good. Have you thought about what happened, what you did?
Dad!
I just want to know. Did you do it? Did you take those papers?
Dad! Do we have to talk about this, like, right now?
Yes, we need to talk about this right now, Neil. Look at me. Did you do it? Did you take those papers? What does that mean? Neil!
Sort of.
Sort of?
I just wanted to see if I could. If it could be done, I mean.
I? So you planned this?
Dad, I'm an honor student. I don't need to steal exam papers.
So why did you?
Just to see if we could. To be like, cool.
Do you realize it's a crime to steal? At your age when you should know better?
Chill, Dad. Nothing happened. They let it go.
Did you think about how much worse this could have turned out? What it would have done to your future?
Dad, we didn't even look at the papers. We just dropped them and ran. I don't need to cheat, Dad. I am smart.
Doesn't sound like what you did was smart. How do you feel about owning up to what you did? Saying sorry. Saying that you understand that what you did was wrong.
You're kidding me, right?
Neil, you'll be applying to colleges soon. This is not something to take lightly. To be cool. You could have been expelled.
Whatever.
I am not done talking to you. Did you think how this might affect your college apps? Why the hell did you do it?
We just did for fun. We weren't thinking about anything.
What the hell? Do you have no sense?
I don't get why you're getting so mad about this. It's not like I was expelled. They dropped it. I don't know why it's still such a big deal.
It's a big deal, damn it. You need to own up to what you did. You committed a crime. You're just sitting around while all these people waste their precious times deciding your fate. And then you get let off the hook without so much as saying a sorry.
I didn't get let off the hook. I was suspended for like 2 weeks and I have all this freaking work to make up.
And whose fault is that? Mine? Your mother's? She should never have written the damn letter. You have no idea what you've done with her covering up for you all the time.
Vikram, don't.
This is all your fault. I don't see a shred of remorse on his face. Look at him. His hair all long, bloody tattoos all over. He looks like a bloody hippie.
What is wrong with you, Vikram? What do you want me to do? Get over it. This thing is done now.
He needs to pay for his mistakes. He just can't walk away with this smug attitude.
What the hell do you want him to do? He was suspended already. He didn't kill anyone. It was a mistake.
He needs to go and apologize to all the people whose time he wasted. He needs to apologize to the teacher whose office he broke into. He needs to apologize to the other parents whose kids he bloody misled. He needs to do some community service or something. He needs to think hard about what he did and understand why it was wrong.
He's missed enough school. He's up to here with schoolwork. He doesn't have time for hours of community service. Please be reasonable, Vikram.
You need to call his counselor and ask him what he can do to make up for what he did. He needs to do it, whatever it takes.
I really don't know what's gotten into you. Aren't you really blowing this out of proportion?
And you need a haircut.
Lily said she doesn't want to go out with me anymore.
outside and didn't do it in front of everyone.
Oh, she congratulated you privately outside the classroom.
Yeah,
You don't want to be congratulated in front of your friends?
not in front of the girls.
Why? You don't want the girls to know what a superstar you are?
Mom, I'm not a teenager yet.
Me. Aditya, Chawla, go and change.
When do you need to be at work?
My first meeting isn't until 10. How to talk so teens will listen, and how to listen so teens will talk. What battles are you fighting with the school today? Or is it torture yoga? It's so annoying right now.
Hello. Yes. Speaking. Mr. Keller, how are you? I'm well. Thank you. Thanks for returning my call. Well, I wanted to set up a time to meet with you. Do you have time later today? Well, it's about me naturally. You know he's a great student. He's represented the school and whatnot. I know what they did was wrong, but is there any way that this doesn't show up in his school record? That's really what I wanted to meet about. Mr. Keller, sorry to interrupt. I don't want you to decide right now. I think we should meet and talk about our options. Yes. No, it's not a waste of my time. This is a big deal. Great. I'll see you at 11 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Keller. Bye. I don't want to waste your time. I'm so glad this whole thing is almost resolved. I'm writing a letter to get the suspension expunged from his record.
He's going to be applying to colleges in a couple of years right now. He'll have to be honest on the apps. You know, where they ask, have you ever? It includes all incidences, even if they were expunged.
I don't think so. Why would I work so hard on getting it cleared then? I'm meeting his counselor at 11 today.
Reina, you should let him face consequences. He won't learn otherwise. He's old enough to know right from wrong.
Pattinson implied if there were no other incidents for the rest of the school year and he keeps up his grades, the school might delete the suspension from his record.
I really worry about his judgment, not his record. He did do this for the most stupid reasons. It's a juvenile crime. You should let him pay for his mistake.
His record is important, Vikram. Who knows whose idea it was anyway? We can't hold him responsible. How does it make us look as parents? This juvenile crime thing? What if he had gotten expelled? I'm so glad it's all behind us.
Is that all you worry about? Our image as his parents? I worry about integrity. What kind of person he's becoming? What are we doing wrong? If he's so smart, why did he steal those papers?
This is what I do, Vikram. If I don't raise the kids right, I'm not doing my job. I don't even get a paycheck. I don't get feedback.
This is the feedback, Reina. How he's turning out.
So now it's my fault.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault. We're both responsible. I should do more as a father.
You should. You should talk to him more. You should be nicer to him. You just don't realize what a great kid he is.
We haven't taught him accountability and consequences. If a few colleges reject him because he's honest, so be it. He'll learn from it. You need to stop protecting him and writing letters for God's sake.
It's not a big deal what happened. He's smart. He was just playing along with other boys. And what came over you the other day? He was so angry.
He said he did it to be cool. He planned this. He was no follower. Don't be such a helicopter parent, Reina. He's not even remorseful.
He's incapable of planning this, Vikram. He's too busy playing soccer, keeping up his grades, and winning debate tournaments. By the way, I called you yesterday. I tried your cell, then I called Jennifer. She said you left already. Then I tried your cell again, but it was off.
I was at an offsite.
Really? Jennifer looked at your calendar and said, you have no more meetings for the day?
It came up at the last minute. Jennifer may not have had a chance to put it in.
Okay, if you say so.
Let's see. Today, I should be home on time. Reina, please, just for these next couple of months, I may be late. My meetings can change at the last minute. There's a lot of pressure.
Off you go then. I'll pick you up at 3 for karate, okay? Do you have a guitar?
I'll get it on my way out. Bye.
I'm having lunch with Zafar.
Really?
I said no to coffee when he called the other day. He kept calling and said he just wanted to meet.
As opposed to what?
I finally agreed to have lunch.
Nice upgrade from the coffee you were denying him.
Oh no. I have to find the needle again. Aditya's language arts teacher starts off, "Dear Aditya," rambles on and on about the lesson she already taught. We did this today, then we did that, we looked at character, and we studied the plot. As if the kids don't know what they did. Is that her way of keeping me informed? Just address the silly email to me then.
What's the needle?
I always read the whole email. I hope every time something important will be hidden in there, somewhere. I know I'll find it one day.
Don't read it. It's meant for him anyway. Anything interesting?
Oh, interesting ads. Hi, Vikram. Aren't you a little late than usual on your walks?
Yes, I was at work late. I have a deadline coming up.
Did your son's school crisis get over?
Almost. Neil did something and got suspended for a week. He's unrepentant.
Oh, that's terrible. Is he in counseling?
Yes.
Who's his counselor? There are some who are really good with boys that age.
I don't know. Maybe my wife does?
It's probably Rose Williamson. She's great. She will really help him.
How do they teach a kid to feel sorry for what he did?
They can't. They can only talk about consequences. Sometimes it doesn't click. It might take years for them to realize what they did was wrong.
Yes. How was your day? Were you at school today?
I had the day off. I spent a lot of time in the garden.
So you're done with architecture?
I volunteer at Habitat for Humanity. Keeps me in touch.
So were you involved in the construction of your house too?
I was. It was amazing to see the house lift off my drawings and come to life.
Were you on site a lot?
Every day of the week. Sometimes with my little girl, who was a preschooler. And then through my pregnancy.
Where are your kids now?
Oh, I just had one. My daughter. I miss her terribly. But she visits a lot, which is great. Come in.
But you said you were pregnant.
Yes. I had a miscarriage. Never had that second one.
You said you had a big belly. Your miscarriage was late.
Yes. I was 6 months pregnant. There was something happened that was a big shock. I couldn't deal with it. My body couldn't handle it. I lost the baby.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, Vikram. It was a long time ago. Half my life.
I was just walking the other day and I remembered how it was a long time ago when my parents lived here.
Your parents lived here?
Yes.
In the house you are in now?
Yes. Walking around here reminds me of when I would bike to school. It reminds me of my childhood.
You biked on this street to school?
Yes, with my friend Jeff. He lived at the end of the street. I remember when your house was being built. I remember passing by many times.
Oh, so you grew up in this neighborhood. Where is your friend now?
He moved to Canada. By the way, I didn't know Maloney's kid was at our school. I worked with him, you know.
I know. You don't talk about anything but your own work with people. Rebecca Maloney has a girl. She's also in 5th grade. I don't think she's in any of Aditya's classes though. Actually, maybe they have science together. But Rebecca works, so she's not in the school much.
Your speech was really good. Did you write it yourself?
Most of it. There's stuff I have to say, so I structure it around what they need. Oh, do you know someone called Margaret?
Margaret? At work?
I don't know. She came up to me and said she knew you. She knew your name.
I can't think of a Margaret. In my department, there's Jill, Deepa, the two Angelas, Priya, Nifwang. I can't think of a Margaret. Not in HR either.
Maybe she's not at work. She said something about walking in the neighborhood. I didn't understand what she was saying.
Oh.
Do you know her? She said she met you recently at some walk. Do you walk at night?
I can't think who she might be.
Strange. She seemed to know who you were.
Who was that guy chatting you up after the meeting?
That was Zafar.
What was he doing there?
I just told you, Vikram. His daughter is in the same school. He attended the fundraiser and donated a lot. I mean, a lot.
Just to impress you, I'm sure.
You're such a cynic. The money is for the school, not for me. His daughter is in the school and she benefits directly. He has her some weekends and his wife, ex-wife, has her the rest of the time.
You seem to know an awful lot.
He told me at lunch.
What does he want from you?
Nothing. He just wants to see me now and then.
Go on. Spill it.
Nothing, Vikram. Don't annoy him. He's the one who's divorced, not me. I can't control what he says to me.
And what's that?
That he has not forgotten. How he made a mistake marrying someone his Ammi chose for him.
Sounds like he's still trying to woo you.
I can't help that, can I?
Can't help enjoying it a bit too, can you?
What's the harm in that? I'm not doing anything to encourage it.
You're sure he knows you're not divorced, right?
Yes, Vikram. I wear my wedding ring and I flash it when I need to.
And sometimes you don't.
Vikram? They took it off his record. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sehgal, after careful deliberations and taking into account your son Neil Sehgal's excellent academic standing at St. Joseph's School, the school board has unanimously decided to expunge the recent exam papers incident from your son's record. I'll be following up with an official letter by mail. Thank you for supporting St. Joseph's. Please let me know if I can be of further assistance. Sincerely, J. Francis Keller.
Reina, this thing with Neil, it's a very big deal. I wish you could see that.
Tell me, why is it such a big deal?
In India, we would have been instantly expelled for something like this. Here, different committees will spend a month discussing it, and even after that, the final verdict depends upon how many letters you write and how much money we give to the school.
Oh, come on. India is no different. Connections work there as well. If you're a politician scared, you can get away with anything, even murder.
But I'm talking about us, regular people. We wouldn't do something like this in India. We'd be embarrassed of the consequences of shaming our parents. Growing up, we were more afraid of our parents.
We chose to bring them up this way, Vikram. We want to be their friends, not intimidate them into the parent is mightier than the child kind of relationship. We want to treat them as equals. You shouldn't do yourself on at dinner. You have to be a good role model too.
Yes, but not at the expense of teaching them the right values, Reina. I think privileged kids, well, I think their parents forget that values need to be constantly taught to them as well. The kids don't see hardship, like my father did, which taught them a lot very quickly. And when they don't have to worry about anything, well, it's our job to work harder to teach them values and character.
Of course, we are teaching them values. Neil's teachers constantly say he's polite, he's chivalrous. Aditya gets those citizenship awards all the time. That's values. And they do that toolbox thing for character. Isn't that values?
But they aren't adults. Neil might look like an adult, but he hasn't finished growing up. Not emotionally. They're counting on us to guide them, even if they don't want us to.
Exactly my point. You said Neil should know right from wrong. He doesn't. He's still a child, like you said. He made a foolish choice to go along with those other boys. He didn't cheat. He didn't even look at those papers.
He doesn't even think he did anything wrong. Doesn't that bother you at all?
Shh. Keep your voice down. The school board unanimously agreed to take it off his record. Unanimously. Doesn't that tell you anything, Vikram? It means it's not such a big deal.
But it doesn't mean it didn't happen. He still did it. He needs to be held accountable. What if he does something else later? With much bigger consequences. What kind of person is he becoming? Have you thought about that?
Hello, Margaret. Here's your mail. Oh, thank you. I was just about to step out.
Oh, I won't be long. How's your book club, by the way? Is there any space for new members?
Oh, sorry, Margaret. I haven't forgotten about you, but it's not my book club.
But you know me, Neha.
The woman who started it really wants to pick and choose these members. She even introduced them. She really wants to make sure that every new member is a good match with the rest of us.
It's not like you all read the books.
Oh, but we do. We are committed readers first and friends second. There is some social chit-chat, but we always discuss the book. And we are constantly recommending books to one another. We all love to read.
Anyway, the reason I'm here is that man who walks up and down and chats with you. Who is he?
Vikram? Oh, he lives 2 blocks down that way. Yeah, that's where he lives. And then sometimes he takes walks after work and we chat if I'm in the garden.
Then why doesn't he just park at his house? He's always parked in front of mine, changing into walking shoes, running off, and then coming back, changing back into his work shoes, and driving away.
Your house? But your house is that way. So why would he park?
Exactly. You know what I think? I don't think he lives around here. He drives off straight toward the avenue. He doesn't turn to go to his house if his house is there.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. It's been almost 2 months now. A couple of times a week, that man parks right in front of my house, takes off his tie, changes his shoes, and walks that way around the corner to this street.
But how he...
I followed him twice. He practically sprints on my street, then slows down around the corner when he's on yours. I think he tries to look for you, to talk to you. What does he want? Or do we have a young secret admirer?
He just chats. I've talked to him maybe half a dozen times. His boys go to the local school, but I don't know. I don't know why he would park in front of your house when his house is over that way.
Well, I introduced myself the last time I followed him. He was very uncomfortable. I asked him, wasn't that his car parked in front of my house? He rushed off. Couldn't explain why he'd do that if he lives 2 blocks away.
I can't imagine why.
And I was at the St. Joseph's fundraiser last week. You know, that private school.
Oh, the one in the hills? Why were you there?
My friend Chrissy, you met her once at my house, remember? Well, she had a table there and she invited me. $10,000 per, but I didn't have to pay a thing. 5-course meal. I saw your Vikram there with some woman I thought must be his wife. She was one of the speakers talking about yada, yada, yada. New swimming pool, new auditorium, needed for the kids, legacy, blah, blah. State of the art. And the dinner was fantastic, by the way. They had some sort of cheese on the salad that was out of this world. And truffles. I must get a copy of the menu. I'll ask Chrissy.
Maybe he was at the fundraiser with his wife. Just like you were there, Margaret. You live here too.
You're not listening, Veena. Your Vikram's wife, I think her name was Reina, she was the speaker. She was raising funds for their school. She gave this little speech about how their boys had been there from the very beginning. Preschool. It's like $30,000 a year for preschool. What a ripoff. Neil and Aditya, I think she said. He has 2 boys, right?
Yes, he does. Vikram has mentioned Neil, but I still can't understand why.
So I went and talked to this Reina woman. She was quite popular, had tons of people crowded around her at the dinner. She pointed to your Vikram sitting at the table. Said it was her husband. I've seen this Vikram walking around. He's the one skulking around here. Whatever did you say to her? I made up some question about the school facilities and asked if there was a school website where I could see how the funds were being spent. Once I had her attention, I told her I'd met her husband walking around in my neighborhood.
What did she say?
She looked like I was insane. I don't know if she heard me right. I said fallen leaf neighborhood. She looked like she couldn't understand what I was saying. Maybe she was drunk or something. Anyway, someone waved a checkbook in her face, and of course she stopped talking to me.
How curious. I'm sure he said Neil goes to the local school. Didn't he say that to me?
Just ask him the next time you see him. It's fishy, I tell you. Oh, I must be off. You let me know if a place opens up in your book club. Bye.
Bye. I got Miss Linton at the school to pull up the guest list for the fundraiser. There was a Margaret. I didn't know, and she was at Chrissy's table. You know Chrissy, right? They donate like $1 million every year. I don't know why the school even needs to have a fundraiser. It's so much work.
What's your point right now? I told you I don't know any Margaret. Can I finish my presentation?
Well, she was there. I didn't imagine her. And she came up to me and told me that she ran into you. You, Vikram, she pointed you out, sitting at our table. Vikram, then I talked to Chrissy. She said Margaret was her guest that night. She's not a parent at the school. She lives over the other side of town, in the Fallen Leaf neighborhood. Isn't that where you used to live? Isn't that where I first met your parents?
I don't know who she is right now. You expect me to know where she lives?
She said she ran into you on your walk. I didn't even know you walked. What's going on, Vikram? Are you having an affair? You're never at work. Your cell phone is always off. Who is this Margaret?
I need to talk to you.
About what?
I need to talk to you about something.
I'm listening.
I've been walking in my old neighborhood where I grew up. I've been going there a couple of times after work a week.
You've not been working late? You've been lying all this time? You do know Margaret.
Reina, this isn't easy for me. Margaret is just someone who lives in that neighborhood. I ran into her by chance once. I don't know her, she's not relevant. A long time ago, I made a mistake. I was a teenager, a little younger than Neil. I didn't fix it. I didn't tell my parents. I feel if I had, I'd be a better parent to Neil. What I chose to do or not to do at that point, well, I think it shaped me as a person. I can't teach my kids honesty and accountability if I didn't do that myself, right? What kind of dad am I? How do I teach my kids the right thing? I worry about Aditya. He worships Neil. And Neil's hardly a good role model.
Neil is the most motivated kid I know. Do you know another kid like that?
Oh, he's motivated, all right. Look at the kind of things he's been up to.
You amaze me, Vikram. You don't even know your own son.
I feel like Neil's on this path and I can't change it. And Aditya, I can already see he's aspiring to follow in Bhaiya's footsteps. I really worry about him. I guess I'm not the primary parent. You do everything. The disciplining, the values.
Why are you going to your old neighborhood after work? That's more than half an hour in the opposite direction. Is there another woman?
No, it's not what you're thinking. I wronged someone a long time ago. I go to see her.
Who is she, Vikram? What did you do?
When I was in 10th grade, I would bike to school with my friend Jeff. He lived at the end of this woman's street, a block away from my parents' house. We would bike past the house to school and then pass it again for soccer practice 3 times a week. I would see her house in the construction. It was a brand new construction. I remember seeing a young pregnant woman. I assumed she was the owner. She was there a lot. She was also the architect.
She designed her house? She still lives there?
She's still there. I've been chatting with her on my walks. One night, I was coming back on my own from soccer practice. I think it was fall. It was dark. I saw a gap in the fence, the construction fence. The construction crew had already gone for the day. I squeezed in my bike and went off to the side. I walked my bike towards the back and sat in the yard. It was very quiet. The house was dark. There were no lights. Another night after practice, Jeff asked me if I wanted to hang out and smoke with him. We were just passing by her house.
Did you guys go in?
There might be cameras, Vic. With a gap like that, you think they're organized enough to have cameras? Do you see any signs saying camera surveillance and shit? I don't want to be on someone else's property. The contractor sign has been leaning against the fences last week. He doesn't even put it up again. Come on, give me such a voice. Here. This is amazing. Where'd you get these? Carmel. Nice. My dad's car. It's so quiet. That was a great game. You scored twice. Way to go, man. Coach is hard on me. Sometimes you're really good, Jeff. He's just pushing you to do even better. He's really nice to Javier, but what about all the positive reinforcement to me? Javier sucks. He shouldn't even be on the team. Dude, he's not that bad. I'm meeting Serena after school tomorrow. Serena? You're stoked, man. How the hell did you do that? She needed help with math. So there was no problem. What about Anna? I thought you guys were like dating. Yeah, I guess. She's cool too. Not Serena. I could like ask Liz if she needs help with Spanish. I gotta go, man. Hey, hang out for a bit. You got more? Here. I have to go. My mom gets pissed off if I don't head home straight after practice. We've still got homework, and we also have an English literature test tomorrow. You may be smart, but I still gotta study for everything.
No one was in the house, right?
Thank God. The house across, I remember they were just sitting to dinner. I could see them through the windows. Their lights were on.
Did they see you?
No, it was pitch dark outside. I got on my bike and rode home.
But Vikram, why did you do it?
I don't know. It was just in the moment. I didn't really think. I just saw the wet slats. It was like, could I get my joint in there with one flick?
But she lives there now, right?
The next morning at breakfast, my parents were talking about a fire a block away. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was responsible for a fire that burnt down her house.
You didn't tell your parents?
I was so scared, Reina. That house, it was almost done. Painting had already started. It was a nice house. I mean, it was a really nice neighborhood. My parents would have had to pay. I was scared of going to jail. My girlfriend would have broken up with me. I was a coward.
But she rebuilt the house after the fire, right?
Nothing happened for almost 6 months. I would try to take another route to school, but Jeff wanted to walk or ride together. I didn't want to be on that street. I saw so many flyers, rolls of paper stuck on the fence from real estate agents. I guess trying to get her to sell the house with that burnt property.
Did Jeff know?
He never said anything. Maybe he suspected it, but I don't think he knew. Maybe he thought it was a coincidence.
What did the paper say?
I heard my parents talking about it. The paper said it was arson. They never found a reason for the fire. I was so terrified of what the next day's papers might say, what they might find out. I mean, I took in my bike. It must have left tracks. And my shoe prints. And our cigarette butts.
Did they say where the fire started? Which part of the house?
The back. The attic of the master bedroom. Right where the ladder had been.
But you've been going by, right? Haven't you been having conversations with her? What have you told her?
Nothing really. I've been lying. I'm getting tangled up in more lies. I almost told her. I wanted to the last time I talked to her. I'm pretending I live in the same neighborhood now, taking my walks after work. She thinks our boys go to school there. She turns out to be a volunteer at the local high school and thinks she'll run into Neil. She works with teenage kids on the verge of trouble. She could help Neil. I wish she'd help me.
Why do you want to tell her now?
I feel I'm being given a second chance. I feel it's not really coincidence that Neil is at this point. I mean, I was almost as old as Neil is now. Now I realize my responsibility to him and to her. And the fact that I found her, isn't that odd? After 30 years, I think it's a sign for me to come clean. It's like it's ordained in a way.
But how will it change anything now? How do you know she even wants to know? Maybe she's moved on. I mean, it was so long ago, right?
Well, after 6 months, construction started again.
So everything worked out, right? Her insurance probably took care of it. I mean, I know what you did was wrong. But it all worked out, right?
Neha, please! There's more. I saw her when construction started again. She wasn't pregnant.
She had a baby.
She lost her baby. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bring this up. I feel I need to tell her. She should know. Maybe it won't change anything now after so long, but it'll give me peace of mind. Margaret said she was terminally ill. It'll give her closure, I think. I feel I need to do this, to show Neil the right path.
Have you thought about the consequences?
I can't imagine any consequences worse than what I'm living through right now. After I found out about her miscarriage, I just can't stop thinking about it. I don't want Neil to grow up making more serious mistakes and being so flippant and facing this kind of regret later in life and not be able to handle it. I've often thought, Reina, had my parents known, what would they have done? I guess I'll never know. But see, how we protect our children. You're protecting Neil for what he did. I wonder if Neil had caused a fire like that, what would we have done? I want to say we would do the right thing, but I don't know, would we? I feel I need to tell her to right the wrong I did. It's the right thing to do. I think if anyone could, she would understand the mistake teenagers make. And I hope she'll forgive me now.
If 16 kids take an hour to complete a sake of a planting service project that's 100 square yards in area, how long will 64 kids take to plant a 600 square yard area? So, one kid takes... Bhaiya, can you help me with
What?
that?
Alright, which one is it?
This one, number 2.
Have you done ratios and proportions yet?
I think so.
Can I use this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you have to set it up like a fraction or a ratio. So 16 kids goes at the top of the fraction or ratio, and the area they can do goes at the bottom. So 100 goes here, and you know this takes an hour. So if you have 64 kids doing the same area, then how long would it take?
64 divided by 16. That's 4 times, so 4
No,
hours.
dope. They'll take less time because there's more kids, right? They'll only take a quarter of the time because there's 4 times as many kids. So they could do the same area in a quarter of an hour. Get it?
Yeah.
But now you have 600 square yards, not 100. The 64 kids can plant 100 square yards in a quarter of an hour. So how long would it take for 6 times as much area?
1.5 hours.
You got it.
Did you cheat on that exam, Bhaiya?
No, I don't need a cheat.
Were you scared that you'd get caught?
No, it was like ziplining. Remember when we went ziplining? You're kind of excited, but your heart's beating like crazy. And it's kind of like a roller coaster.
Were you like scared when the guy saw you there?
No, we just ran.
Were your friends scared?
One was, but I wasn't scared at all.
But why'd you do it if you didn't need to cheat?
I just thought it would be cool to try it. It was no big deal.
Bhaiya, if you hadn't been caught, would you have looked at the test papers?
I don't know. I guess we haven't thought it out that far. We just thought it would be cool to break in and grab the papers.
Mom says if I try my best and check my work, I'll do fine. What do I write here, Bhaiya?
No, Zafar, I can't. I think you're crossing the line. I know you do. But I'm no longer that same person. No, Zafar, I don't want to encourage anything. No, I've said what I wanted to say. I hope you. Good luck to you, Zafar. Bye. How's it going? Doing your work?
Yeah. Was that the same person you didn't have coffee with?
Yes, it was. Can you even read your own handwriting? What does that say? And how do I, the teacher, know it's your homework?
Oh.
Hey. What's this email about your laptop?
Oh yeah.
It's been twice already. One more time, and you know you have to go
I
to...
know. Detention. What's detention?
You have to stay for an hour after school, doing, I don't know, maybe they give you some work to do. Why are you waiting for a third time? After the first time, you should remember to secure your laptop. So hard not to say
So
you
that
should.
the school doesn't have to buy me a new one?
The school did not buy you this one. Read it. The school is trying to teach you to put it in the right place, in your bag or in your locker, not leave it around somewhere.
But why does the school care if I leave it lying around the third time?
Because they're trying to teach you to be responsible, Aditya. That's a good thing.
So if it happens another time, can you write a letter so I won't have to do detention?
No, Aditya. I'm not writing any more letters. You know the rules. You've broken the rules twice. If it happens again, you should get detention.
So many kids leave their laptops lying around. You should see, Mom.
I know. I get emails all the time about this and that lost at school. They should get detention too.
But I'll miss karate, and I want my free time before homework.
So don't leave it lying around. Nate. Hello. Yes, this is she. Mr. Pattinson, thanks for getting back this late. I'm good. Neil and I wanted to come and meet you tomorrow after school. This is about... and Mr. Pattinson, community service hours to make up for what he did. Yes. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Is Bhaiya going to do detention?
I can't believe you're doing this, Mom. You said they took it off my record.
They did, Neil. But I don't think I'd let you learn anything. Owning up to your mistakes is the hardest part. Mr. Keller, I just spoke with Mr. Pattinson. Oh, you're with him right now? Who? Emma? Emma Warren. I see. Why didn't they? I'll ask him. Thank you. Bye. Neil? Was there another person that day? A girl? Emma? Were you protecting her? You know, I want to say I'm proud that you didn't rat her out. But what you did is still... She owned up. She said all of you boys were protecting her because she got away that day. But she was in it as much as you all.
Oh, hello, Vikram.
Mrs. Katyal, may I come in?
Yes, yes.
I need to talk to you about something. I wanted to tell you, when you were building your house, the fire...
I know what you have come here to see. Your mother came to see me a couple of months after the fire. She had a hunch. She said that she was terrified of asking you. She told me what she had suspected and left.
Vikram. We have Sriram Modi as Aditya Sehgal and Agastya as Neil Sehgal. Christine Han as Margaret. As Beena Katyal. Vikram. I'd like to thank Sumit for helping us with the sounds. The Chief of Staff, I think I should call him that, for helping us out, Harish as well. Thank you all very much for coming today.
About our director, Neha Goyal. And we have in attendance our playwright, Tanvi Buch. So I wanted to say a few words before we exit. For those of you who are here for the very first time, I'd like to just give you a little bit, tell you a little bit about Naatak. So what we're doing here as part of the stage readings is our second stage. We held a contest called Imported Naatak last year. It was a playwriting contest. And we picked 3 scripts out of that as finalists that we are presenting as part of the 6 stage readings that were happening this year. So Tanvi's script was one of the winners in that contest. As was, by the way, we have Lisa Kang in attendance here. Lisa, a quick wave. Wrote a script called The Wife of Buddha that we presented in April that we might redo again in July if we're able to get the team back together. So there were 3 scripts and these are 2 of them. So these are, the idea about these stage readings is we're really stepping back. Naatak is created from the community. Every one of us that's part of the organization was in one of these seats at some point in time. We're all a completely volunteer-based organization, completely non-profit, and we're drawn from the community. So, we invite all of you to come on board and join us, participate with our productions in some way, either on front of stage or backstage. A lot of the people that you see on this team here are first-timers, very, very first time that they maybe performed in a play, or maybe the second time they performed, and that also includes not just the cast. This is Neha's directorial debut. This is Tanvi's script writing debut. And so what we're trying to here is nurture new people to come on board, help us grow as a team, and really present more content to all of you. Now, in addition to our stage readings, we have 3 main stage productions. As I mentioned, this is our 20th season. We have an action-packed calendar that we've built up. There was Taming of the Shrew that we performed in a dialect of Hindi, a dialect called Bundelkhandi that happened in March. Anytime a play is performed in Hindi, we do it with super titles, so its language is not a barrier. Really, everyone can come and experience it for themselves. The next play that we are producing is a play called Rabbit Hole by David Lindsay Abair. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning script. Really, extremely well-written script. What you're seeing behind you is the sets for Rabbit Hole. Usually, when we set up front, we said no sets, no props. We took advantage of the fact that we had sets being built in progress for Rabbit Hole. I invite everyone on this team to come and, to all of you to come and watch that. You can talk to Rajiv back there about how to be able to get your tickets, www.naatak.org, or you can just buy them right here before you leave. And then the production after that will be our 50th production, our magnum opus. It's called Vrindavan. It's a grand musical that we'll be presenting with spectacular costumes, music and dance. That happens in September. So with that, thank you very much for coming. Have a great rest of the day.